Yo, what is the deal, everybody? What is the deal? Welcome to another Raider Nation Unlimited. I'm your man, Wasted Talent. Yo, a minute late because my coffee machine, bro. I had to clean that joint out, man. I got to get my wife about to bring my coffee in. This is gonna be a damn good show. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Get wasted with your brother. Wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share this thing out to all social media. But look, man, like I always say, let's start this podcast. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What is the deal, everybody? What is the deal? What is the deal, y'all? Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Yo, let me get my shout outs and my salutations to everybody. Shout out to my guy, Mr. Cold Blooded, aka Cream Corn. Goes down smooth. He got more measure for your pleasure. Yo, we got over 111 in a row. Get wasted with your brother. Wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. My dog, Marvin Lewis. Music in my soul. James Bowles. A brother from my own heart. My guy, Martin from way across the pond. Chip, chip, cheerio. My dog, Billy Davis, is in a place. Raider Fresh is in a place. Raider Fresh, my dog, man. Appreciate you, dog. Yo, the membership is in the bottom of the description. Sweetheart, do me a favor. Just get us to mom. Put some more, so a little bit more cream in the things, baby. Great. LV Maximus is in a place. Raider Bryce is in a place. Yo, I'm excited, man. My dog LV Maximus said it right, man. Yo, we got 6 more days, y'all. 6 more days, man, and until the shot heard around the world happens. Raider football will be back. The most important game of the rest of our lives is happening, yo. My dog Bryce B is in the place. My dog Bryce B is in the place, man. But yo, let me tell y'all something, man. Well, yeah, and everybody, this has been brought to you by BetUS. We got to pay some bills first. BetUS, America's #1 sports book.
This video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
You're damn real, y'all. You damn real, y'all. Now listen, man. You guys know, there's going to be a lot of wagering during this season. Some people like to bet, some people don't. If this doesn't apply to you, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. Thank you, sweetheart. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if you do like to gamble and wager on sports, look none other than BetUS, man. Fastest payouts in the industry, 125% sign-up bonus, up to $2,000 in your first 3 deposits. Fast and easy deposits and withdrawal process. Go check out that link that's pinned to the top of my chat. BetUS, man, America's #1 sports book, man. They even got snooker over there, y'all. But let me tell y'all something, man. When you talk about what's happening with the Raiders and you talk about what's happening with the Chargers, man, there are a lot of little small prop bets that are out there, man. If you're not gonna, wager on the game itself, there's one out there. I mean, see the line so far on September 8th, money lines 155, spread is 3.5. You know what I mean? Over under is 42.5. Money lines 180, man. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. There's a few little prop bets that are out there as well. 2024-25 regular season defensive interceptions. The money line's 110. The over and under is 1.5. Let me tell y'all something, man. Take the over heavy with Jack Jones. That's like stealing money right there. That's a little tip from Wasted, man. Take the over on the Jack Jones action, man. But let me tell y'all something, man. We got a lot to get into this show, man. A lot to get into. And before I get to cooking too, happy Labor Day to everybody out there. I hope you guys are enjoying your time with your families. We kind of got together and did something over at my in-laws' house yesterday. We had a good time, man. We kicked it, shot over, to the fair and all that stuff, man. We had a good time, man. Shout out to all of y'all. But listen, let's get into it. Let's get into it, man. Hold on, Anthony Hernandez. Yo, big bro, I still can't buy memberships for people. Hashtag Team iPhone. Anthony, I don't know what's going on with that, bro. I don't know, man. I'm not the tech guy, bro. I'm not the tech guy. I appreciate y'all even doing that, brother. I appreciate y'all even doing that. And Sean Donahue, yes, I do know I have DC in the beginning of my video. My video will be changed week 1. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me ask y'all a question, y'all. What video do y'all like better? What video do y'all like better, man? You guys are derailing the show all freaking ready. Which one do you guys like this one better? I mean, is that one? Do you guys like that one or do you guys like the OG one? Because I remember everybody telling me to bring the OG one back. But listen, we got a lot to get into today, y'all. Can't allow you guys to derail the show any effing more. What the hell is going on here? Listen, man, this game, man, is really one of the most important games in the history of the Raiders. And I know a lot of people are going to say this is hyperbole. People will say this is being hyperbolic. Wasted is being a crazy fan. That's what's wrong with content creators. And I'm going to tell y'all something. This is a fact. Antonio Pierce is a guy that some people did not want to have this job. Antonio Pierce is a guy that the masses wanted as far as the players goes. Antonio Pierce is a guy who is coaching against the person who people thought may be the coach. And Jim Harbaugh. This is who Antonio Pierce is coaching against. This sets the table for the rest of our season because let me tell you something. The Raiders have a tough row at home, man. The first 4 games are against the who's who of the AFC. These are conference matchups. This is not something to be taken lightly, man. The Raiders this year have the unfortunate task of going into the AFC Central and playing, or the AFC North, whatever. I'm old, but we have that unfortunate task. And I'm going to tell you something, man. In the first month of the season, we'll be playing our division rival Chargers. We will be playing the Baltimore Ravens, a early Super Bowl contender. We will also be playing the Cleveland Browns, and then we'll go down and play the Carolina Panthers, right? And when I look at the Panthers, the Panthers, everybody's saying is going to be one of the worst teams in the league. I think Bryce Young will be markedly better, and he has some weapons. He's able to get and all these guys. So the Raiders have a tough row at home, man. They're probably going to be underdog. They're underdogs in 3 of the first 4 games, right? And we need for the Raiders to go out there, show and prove. We need this defense to show up and show out. And we need the Raiders to go out here in the AFC and start off 1-0. Because listen, man, the easiest way to get to the playoffs is to win your division. Now, we know that's a tough task having, the class of the National Football League in your division. It's just our luck, right? But it's not impossible. It's not impossible. My dog Gout, the Gout gang is in the place, man. My brother Graf is drinking his cherry juice right now, trying to get the uric acid out of his club foot. Shout out to my brother Graf, man. Yeah, man. Raider Jimmy, he says, how's the weather over here? You got a hoodie on? The weather's all right, man. It's a beautiful day out. It's just cold in the office in my house because the air conditioner's blaring. That's why I have a hoodie on, brother. But yo, my guy, Raider Nation, man. Just win, baby. Remember for 1 month. Shout out to you, my dog, man. Nate Dogg, you're wasted. Hondo said our linebacking core is the second deep positional group on the team. When was the last time we were able to say that? A very, very long time, man. And you got to understand something. There's 2 reasons why we have a very deep linebacker group. Before we get into it, one is because of the new kickoff rule. A lot of these guys are going to get a lot of snaps on special teams. It's just a fact. A lot of these guys have to be fast enough to get down the field. They need to be able to take on and shed blocks, and they need to be able to tackle well, right? So it serves you better to have some of these young athletic linebackers. And also, our linebacker crew, when you start talking about run defense, that's a big hole in the Patrick Graham scheme. And a lot of people talk about, the hole when it comes to rush defense. And I think, with some of the guys that Patrick Graham has brought in, some of the guys like, Amar Gainer. Amar Gainer is a guy who's played Will, Sam, Mike. He's played with his hand on the ground. He's been a defensive end. He has a unique skill set. He's very athletic, 4.5 speed guy. So he's a guy that, can shed blocks. He's a stout tackler. He's very, very athletic. He can get after the quarterback. I think that you're going to see the best version of the Patrick Graham scheme this year. Now, last year, Graham oversaw a defense that ranked ninth in overall points allowed per game, 19.5, and 17th place improvement from 2022. We finished in 2022 as the 15th in the league after previously holding the 28th spot in 2022. Over the second half of the season, the Raiders defense was one of the best units in the league. From weeks 9 to 18, the defense led in points allowed, 16, and ranked 10th in the NFL in takeaways, 14, and we ranked tied for third in sacks for 30. So under Graham's guidance, Max Crosby finished the season tied for first in the NFL in tackles for loss, man. Sixth in sacks at 14.5, and with third amongst defensive linemen in tackles with 90. So, Patrick Graham and this scheme is going to be all the better for some of the linebacking help that we brought in, some of the depth that we brought in. Robert Spillane also had a career year under us, and I think that, there was a misnomer that Patrick Graham never had any great linebackers. Well, now in this scheme, man, Robert Spillane has been able to show up and show out. Man, he had 82 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 3 picks, 4 passes defended, 7 tackles for loss, and 1 forced fumble and a fumble recovery, man. And that was his first season. So I would love to see what Spillane looks like going into his second year. I would love to see what he looks like going to the second year. So, yeah, I mean, Hondo is not wrong. I need to see it first. There are a lot of names. There's a lot of hopium with some of these guys that we have on this linebacking core. But I'm going to be 100% real with you. I need to see it. I'm excited for Amari Gainer. I'm excited for Bernie. I'm excited for, Divine Diablo and Luke Masterson and all of these gentlemen. Tommy Eichenberg hasn't played, yet. But, I'm excited to see him because I know what he did in college. But that remains to be seen. That remains to be seen, man. Nate Dogg, he said, I'm excited to see how well Graham's system gets with the deeper linebacking core, man. But listen, man, I mean, when you start talking about going into this Charger game, man, and let's really, 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 really get into this Charger game. The secondary is going to have to hold serve. Justin Herbert is coming back after being injured. We talk about, one of the great games in Raider history when we went out there and destroyed the Chargers in the second half of the season. We hung 63 on them. But we were playing against, Flossom and Jetsam at quarterback. You know what I mean? We were not playing against Justin Herbert. I know this is a big revenge game for the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh is making his return to coaching after being out of the National Football League for almost 10 years. And Jim Harbaugh is going to want to make a statement. He's going to want to make a statement. Now, we have to see whether or not the game is passed Jim Harbaugh by. One thing that's in Jim Harbaugh's favor is the fact that, some people say that he won't be able to relate to today's player, but he just came from coaching college football. So he's been dealing with the future of the league. I think he has a pretty good handle on, a lot of rosters in the league, from recruiting a lot of the young players in his league. And, I think that, Jim Harbaugh will be Jim Harbaugh. If I'm being honest, I'm not looking for Jim Harbaugh to go out here and just be some terrible coach and the game passing him by, i.e. a John Gruden situation, because John Gruden was away from the game of football. Yes, he was, in a broadcast booth, but he wasn't coaching. Jim Harbaugh has been actively coaching this whole time. So I think you're going to get the best of Jim Harbaugh. You're going to get the best of Jim Harbaugh. Now, coming into this season, the Chargers are much improved on their offensive line, man. Joe Alt, me being a Notre Dame fan, is a kid that, I would have loved for the Raiders to be had a chance to draft. Joe Alt is a beast. He really is, man. He's a beast. They moved him to right tackle. And he's going to be over there facing Max Crosby, and hopefully he gets a baptism by fire by Max Crosby. And they stayed true to their draft board. They're trying to protect Justin Herbert, man, with their 5th overall pick. And they stabilized their questionable line. You know, their line was a little questionable, but now you have a lot of, you know, young players, man, that are very, very high draft picks. You know, they're guys that a lot of people, you know, would have loved to have. You know, you got Joe Alt, Zion Johnson, man, Trey Pipkin, all these guys, Jamari Salyer, Rashawn Slater. You know, their line is loaded. Their line is loaded. You know, you talk about, you know, statistics. They have a bunch of first and second and third round picks and guys that were ranked very, very highly, man. Very, very high. You know, just Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt alone with Zion Johnson at guard and Salyer from Georgia, that is a huge, huge line right there, man. It's going to be it's definitely going to be a great matchup for the Raiders. It really is, man. Our defensive line is really going to have to wreck this game for us. Let me get in the chat a little bit. Shout out to my guy Leo Torres with the first super of the day. PG moved upstairs and the defense was a lot better. That's a fact, Leo Torres. That's a fact. And that was, you know, I can't help but to think that the Patrick Graham and the ascension of this defense has a lot to do with the head coach. I have to give Antonio Pierce his flowers and his props. I think Antonio Pierce had a lot to do with how well this defense changed and the way they were calling this defense. There's a lot to do with that. A lot to do with that. And the fact that the chains were kind of taken off of Patrick Graham and he was allowed to really, really show his genius and his greatness. I mean that's pretty much where we're at with that. You know, our D line versus their O line is the pinnacle matchup there, man. King Kong versus Godzilla. I'm ready to see it. The one thing where I give the Raiders a bit of an edge as far as, you know, our personnel grouping is that we have the veteran edge. They have a lot of young players. They have a rookie, you know, going against Max Crosby, a physically talented rookie. Make no mistake about it, but a rookie nonetheless. So, you know, listen, I expect to see Max Crosby take young fella to the woodshed. The latest on Brock Bowers, James Schaefer. You know, Antonio Pierce told you the last press conference. Brock Bowers is okay. They're protecting him from himself. I think you're going to see a lot of Brock Bowers early and often. But the one guy that everybody is overlooking is Michael Mayer, man. Michael Mayer, you know, is a guy that has a big chip on his shoulders, man. I think Michael Mayer is going to be a guy that's really, really going to show up and show out. AC Ybarra. Max will have a career day versus the Chargers game 1. Book it. I hope so, man. Joe C. Is Alt better on the left? Yeah, Alt is a left tackle in college. He's making the change to right tackle, but I think he'll be all right. You know, Rashawn Slater is a Pro Bowl level left tackle. You knew that was going to happen. I think the Chargers did their homework. He's been playing at right since he's been in the National Football League. The kid will be fine. The kid will be fine. So let's get into this, man. Now, when you start talking about the Chargers roster, right, the one thing that sticks out to me with this Greg Roman ran offense is the fact that they went out and they remade their running back room. You know, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, these are two guys that came with Greg Roman over from the Baltimore Ravens. You know, they were previously together, and Greg Roman is you know, a different kind of guy. He's old school. He loves to run the football. And one of the things that are very concerning to me is the Raider run defense. You know, Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins are two totally different kind of running backs. You know, they're both counted upon to boost this run game to give this team a little balance. You know, and they've had a run game with the Chargers that's been pretty stagnant. They've been very, very reliant on the pass. On the roster, you know, DJ Chark is a guy that we wanted. Had a lot of injury concerns. Very, very physically talented guy. Darius Davis, very, very physically talented guy. Quentin Johnson, Lad McConkey, Joshua Palmer, and Brendan Rice. Now, Their wide receiver room is not a who's who of names, but they have a lot of physically talented guys, and I think our secondary is going to be tested, man. All eyes are going to be on that group, man, to see if they can elevate the offense out there in Los Angeles, man. Palmer is returning for his fourth season. He has an established connection with Justin Herbert, and Chark is a Pro Bowler, man, from 2019. So let's see how that goes. Brendan Rice, guy's probably not going to play too much in this game. But the guy that I want to see is Quentin Johnson. Quentin Johnson's been a guy who is very, very physically talented, has a little problem holding on to the football, though. So we got to look at that. So, we got to break that down, because the one question mark on this defense has been our corner room. It hasn't been the secondary as a whole. It's our corner room, right? Now, will that defensive line be something that can help this corner room? Who knows, right? But outside, Jacorian Bennett, like your life depended on it. We need to see Jacorian Bennett's best. We definitely do, man. Jacorian Bennett needs to go up, and show out early and often. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I got logo say, Wasted. You have a Raider hat with the big shit. Where'd you get it from? Yo, I can't be telling y'all all my secrets, bro. Come on, dog. Say, nah, I think I got it from Lids, bro. Going over the Lids, bro. They get you right. But listen, bro. I have a thing where, like, I don't know what it is, but I always find stuff that everybody don't have, bro. That's that fly shit, man. I don't know if you could rock that Loco Sick. Yeah, and El, now listen, guys. Yes, I agree with Graf 100%. Look, you got to understand something. This is not just a first game. Yeah, Antonio Pierce was here last year, but he was an interim coach. This is the first game of his career after a job that's been given to him, right? This is the first game under this new regime. There's supposed to be a new feeling in the building. We're supposed to be establishing a new winning culture, and the way that you establish a winning culture is by winning. There's been a lot of talk. There's been a lot of posturing. There's been a lot of everybody yelling Raiders and all this and that. We got to go out there and we got to win. This is big because, we have a tough schedule this year. This is a division matchup. These are one of those games that when you're starting to calculate everything at the end of the season, these are them games. All games matter, but all games don't matter equally. Winning a divisional game is like winning two games, because you put them behind the 8 ball and you have a better divisional record than one of the other 3 teams in your division, and you increase your conference record as well. So these are things, tiebreakers. This is a very, very competitive AFC this year. If you can win the first game, that kind of sets everything in an upward trajectory. And then you got to go on the road against Baltimore. That's a tough game. But you know what? Stranger things have happened. We've gone and beat Baltimore down there. My guy, Reuben Russ. The most dangerous pass catcher is Ladd for the Sparkles. He is a rookie. We can't sleep on him. Jim likes to use the slot route type running. Well, listen, this is a Nate Hobbs special. It's time for Nate Hobbs to step up and earn. It's a contract year for Nate Hobbs. Nate Hobbs is now a veteran. This is time for Nate Hobbs to go on out there and knock the Sonic rings out of young fella. Make no mistake about it. I'm not worried about Ladd McConkey. This is time for Nate Hobbs to step up and show why we have him valued so high. It's got to go out there. These are the kind of games where Nate Hobbs will earn his money. We got over 409 in the room. Get wasted with your brother. Wasted. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Everybody over there on X, you can watch over there. But if you want to participate, come on over here. Join the Mad Cap Fund over at Raider Nation Unlimited on YouTube. Y'all make sure y'all pay y'all bar tabs. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. I think we are less than 50 away for 12K, y'all. So get your brother wasted over 12K. Really quickly. Yo, salute, man. Ladd is a good route runner at all levels of the field, and Jim will use the heavy run and play action boots in the scheme to get him open. Yes, Jim Harbaugh is big time with play action pass. This is one of the reasons why, he's an old school coach, man. He runs the football, a lot of balance. A lot of his pass in game comes off of that play action pass, and Ladd McConkey will be open in space. The Raiders have to stay disciplined up front. They have to get pressure up front. I would like to see the Raiders kind of stay in, their sub package, their 4-2-5. A lot of that stuff where, they can rush their front 4, or they can go with 3 guys. But a lot of times they're going to do, rushing their front 4. I would like to see the Raiders, rush 4 and drop 7. I would like for them to make these receivers beat our secondary. These guys are not great receivers by any stretch of the imagination, right? And Justin Herbert is one of those quarterbacks, man. He's not afraid to let that ball fly, and he can fit the ball into small spaces. Justin Herbert is super, super talented, man. But I want to see the Raiders be able to get pressure on Justin Herbert. The key to the game is the defensive line. They make no mistake about it. I don't want to get too into breaking down the actual game. I want to just get into this Q&A. I want us to talk about, specific matchups because, it's going to be dope. At the end of the week, we're really going to break this thing down to a fine pace, man. Irvin Hunter, man, I feel like this is a trap game because this is an unknown Charger team. I mean, all games are trap games. I mean, when you start off the first game of the season, everything's an unknown. Everybody changed their roster. You got new draft picks. You got certain guys that are going to get injured, certain guys that are coming off of injuries. So to me, it is always a trap game week one. You really don't know what you have. You don't have as much film as you need, and plus Jim Harbaugh is coming back to the National Football League after almost a decade. So yeah, I don't know if it's a trap game, man. I mean, it's the first game of the season. It is what it is. I think it's a trap game for them. I think it's a trap game for them because, the Chargers are favored. The Chargers, people think, are a better football team. They had a better quarterback. But I think there has been a huge, huge underestimation of Gardner Minshew. A huge, huge underestimation in Gardner Minshew, man. Raider man, yo, bro, you confident in Getsy's offense? I can't sit up here and lie to you and tell you I'm confident in Getsy's offense, right? What I can tell you about Luke Getsy is this, though. Luke Getsy is no bum. Luke Getsy has done well when he has the proper quarterback play. As you can see what's going on right now with the Pittsburgh Steelers, Justin Fields is not the most, should we say, accurate quarterback in the world. And I think a lot of Getsy's offense is based on timing, accuracy, processing well. I think Gardner Minshew is a guy that does that well. I think the problem with Gardner Minshew is a lot of times he tries to do too much instead of staying within the confines of said offense. But, I think that Gardner Minshew is more of a pro as far as doing that kind of stuff than a guy like a Justin Fields. Justin Fields is a guy that, is going to run around. He's going to juke and jive. He's going to do his thing, man. And he's not the most accurate quarterback in the world. That was one of the reasons why he fell in the draft. And a lot of people don't realize, man, they don't realize how much of a football aficionado, Gardner Minshew is, man. He is a better option at quarterback than Garoppolo was last year, just based off of the fact of just ability, right? Sure ability. Like Jimmy Garoppolo at this point in his career, has a 10-cent arm at this point. He can't really throw the football. He can't throw the football. And a lot of people are talking about, Gardner Minshew and, his ability to scramble the football. I think one of the big reasons why, Aiden O'Connell is not our starting quarterback right now is because of the fact that he was unwilling to leave the pocket and scramble. And I think that's a plus, especially against this hellacious Charger pass rush. Listen, Khalil Mack is still Khalil Mack. Joey Bosa is coming off of an injury, but I think that Joey Bosa will be fine. I think Joey Bosa will be fine, man. But, in this Yardbarker piece, written by Ezekiel Trezvant, shout out to him, man. He touched on, O'Connell's inability and unwillingness to scramble, and is known around the league by opposing teams. Minshew's mobility and many years of National Football League experience makes him the best option for the silver and black. If only the first few games of the season, Coach Pierce believes that other traits make Minshew a quality starter. Says he's a football junkie. We always talk about Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins being the first guys in the building, but he's not too far behind, Coach Pierce said. He stays late, and he's done a lot of things without a lot of hype and things that we talk about throughout the building that's starting to show up a little bit. And I think our team is really taking notice of that. And obviously, since we've named him the starting quarterback, he's kind of taken that role with our skill position players and our O-line. So it's been good to see in the building. Now, this is one thing that I don't know if it bothers me. Maybe I'm just old school, But I don't want a defensive end and a defensive tackle being the first people in the building. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew should be the first two people in that building, especially when they were battling for that job. That kind of bothers me. Bothers me, man. It bothers me to see that shit. My guy Big Mike is in the place. Shout out to Big Mike, man. My guy DeMarcus Webb with the yo, I love the picture, yo. Step brothers, yo. Going to be a key for Minshew to distribute the pass to all his weapons. Don't placate to Adams just for the sake of making him happy. Will lead to more interceptions over time. Yo, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Devontae Adams is a humongous key to us breaking this game open. Devontae Adams is actually the key to us breaking this game open, man. And while you can't completely placate to Devontae Adams, you have to have at least 30% of your pass plays focused on him being, the option period. You got to get Devontae Adams open. You got to get him open. You got to get him going early and often. I think if anything about Luke Getsy that doesn't worry me, I think Luke Getsy knows how to scheme for Devontae Adams. He knows how to scheme. He's watched Devontae Adams. He's been a part of Devontae Adams' development. He's had Devontae Adams on his offense. I think that Luke Getsy also, what doesn't worry me about him too, is how he can affect our tight end room in a positive manner. Luke Getsy coming in and taking over Chicago Bears offense was one of the big reasons why Cole Kmet broke out. And I think that he's going to have that same impact on Mayers and Brock Bowers. I really do. I really do. I think Devontae should have at least 30 to 35% of our targets, man. I really do. Because, see, the one thing about a wide receiver, people don't realize something. When they don't get the football, they're still running those routes. They're still running those routes. You got to keep them interested and focused, right? You got to go out there and you have to, and I'm not saying to just force the ball to him indiscriminately, but what I'm saying is that early in the game, you got to scheme him in space by himself, little short dump off plays, get the ball in Devontae's hand to keep him going. Get the ball in his hand. I don't want to see Devontae, getting the snot beat out of him early in the game. Some little dump off plays, little hitches, you know what I mean? Little post plays towards the sideline. I want to see get Devontae loose, man. Get him loose, man. Shout out to my guy DeMokes, man. The Raiders win in week 1, 69 to -4. What? Get the F out of here, man. What are you talking about, man? The F are you talking about? Getting inebriated. Yeah, you're damn right you're getting inebriated with wasted, man. That's Carson and Cole, the Kick brothers. Oh, I love that, man. I love that. Yeah, but the one thing too, man, and to be honest with you, the thing that worries me about Gardner Minshew is him throwing a couple of hospital balls. It worries me. I'm not gonna lie. I just would like to see Gardner Minshew stay within the confines of the offense and not try to do too much. Let the game come then. Because if you really look at this offense, skill position wise, we have guys that can break the game open. All you got to do is get the football in their hands. You don't have to throw the ball deep all the time to get Devontae Adams in the end zone. A lot of the times it's just a matter of getting him open in the middle of the field. He can break one on you. Those periods last year where Tay wasn't getting enough targets was unacceptable. And whoever was responsible should have been unceremoniously blocked. See, a lot of times Tay would be open down the field, and it wasn't a play calling thing. It was a fact that Jimmy Garoppolo, at this point in his career, physically could not throw the football hard enough or farther enough to actually, threaten the defense. Jimmy Garoppolo physically is done, man. Done. And that was a big problem. That's one of the reasons why Devontae went upstairs, was like, yo, you got to sit this guy down. Seriously, man. From all intents and purposes of the word, as of right now, from all I'm hearing, Brock Bowers will be available. Brock Bowers is gonna be fine. We're gonna get to see the debut of our prize rookie. That's what I'm talking about, man. That is what I'm talking about, yo. I just hope we don't need a future running back. Let's get the running back room going. Now, look, let's get into this running back room, yo. Do you guys want to get into this running back room? Now, Zamir White, and I don't know if you guys saw my short on Zamir White. Zamir White is a guy that I'm expecting to be the bell cow of this freaking this offense. You know, Zamir White, you know, did phenomenal last year in the last few games of the season. He did phenomenal. And when you start talking about, you know, where and what is going to be the key to the Raiders offense, look no further than Zamir White. Zamir White is a guy who I want to see the Raiders get going early as well, because a lot of the way you're going to get Devontae open, a lot of the way you're going to get a lot of these tight ends open is through off of the play action pass. Balanced offenses in the National Football League are what wins out. We got over 500 in the room. Get wasted with your brother. Wasted. My God, man. Yeah, that's right. Hey, Raider Primos, it's disgusting work out here. Pause. The F is wrong with you. And Circle of Life Media, look, the thing with Zamir White put on all of that weight for a reason. Zamir White needs to go out there and physically impose his will on this defense. You got to feed him. You got to run at Mac. You got to run at Bosa. You have to run at their porous defensive front. You know, their defensive tackle room is a little weak with the Chargers. You know, the defensive tackle room is not really a who's who of players up there up front, man. The Chargers are pretty weak up front, man. You know, they got some young players. They got some veteran players. You know, Poona Ford is a pretty decent ball player. You know, Poona Ford's okay. Abayani, he's a strong run defender. He's looking to take another step forward. And, you know, Matlock is okay. That's Scott Matlock. But to be honest with you, they really, 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 really have a freaking gaping hole in the middle. They do. I mean, now, the one thing that the Chargers defense kind of frightens me a little bit is the fact that when you start talking about pass rush, man, they have it in spades, man. You know, Bud Dupree, Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, man. That's their strongest positional group, man. You know, the Chargers are loaded at that spot. You know, you got Khalil Mack, probably a future Hall of Famer, man, coming off a 17-sack season, man. And he's still amongst the game's best run defenders. Bosa is a little injured. I would definitely try to, you know, Joey Bosa, you know, for throughout his career has always been a guy who's going to be on the scrap heap, man. And Bud Dupree is a guy who's been very productive in the National Football League early in his career, man. You know, Jesse Minter, you know, is probably going to have three of those guys on the field at one time. So this is something you need to look out for. You know, our offensive line really, really, really is going to have their work cut out for them, man. You know, Denzel Perryman, you know, in the middle of that defense, you know, great run defender, great tackler. You know, he's been here with us, 10-year leader on the field. And then, you know, Dion Henley, man, it's a kid that we wanted. Dion Henley has grown leaps and bounds, man. This is a kid, man, that you got to keep an eye out for. So this Charger defense is going to be ready. They're going to be game. They're definitely going to be game, man. My guy, VT on track. Hot take, Zamir White, 2K rushing yards. Bro, from your lips to God's ears, I hope so. But the one way to slow down a pass rush is to run at that pass rush. Run at them, get them, you know, off beat, get them wondering, keep them guessing. You know what I mean? An effective run game slows down a pass rush. It really does. And it puts us in a situation where we're ahead of the sticks. You know, you always want to be ahead of the sticks in a game like this. You don't want for Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa to be able to pin their ears back. You know, when you're behind the sticks, you're behind the chains. When you're losing the game, you're behind on the clock. You're not controlling the clock. You're behind by a lot, and you know that you got to drop back and pass all the time. That is the worst case scenario for a Raiders team at this point, especially with Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew's a guy that, you know, I don't want to see Gardner Minshew throwing the ball 35, 40 times a game. I want balance. I want probably, you know, 55% runs, 45% passes. That is what I want to see out of the Raiders. I want us to be a ball control kind of an offense to help this defense spell that defense and make sure that our guys aren't getting tired out, man. Kenny Clark, he said, once Zeus runs over a few people, nobody's going to want to tackle him. Love it. And I hope so, man. I hope so, man. I'm hoping so, man. The Chargers played their best defensive game versus Aiden. Our offense played so terrible, but we still had a chance to win. I'm confident we won't play that bad, and they won't play that well. Yeah, I'm confident too, bro, but this is a different team and a different coach. You got to understand something, and this is what I'm trying to let everybody understand. You can't look. You got to take what you got last year and throw that away. You're dealing with Jim Harbaugh here. Jim Harbaugh is still one of the best coaches in football. Jim Harbaugh is no Brandon Staley. Brandon Staley is probably the worst coach. That guy probably should never get another coaching job again. That guy's terrible. Terrible. My guy Nate Dogg. I went to high school with Bowers and watched him play ball for a couple years. Now I get to watch him on my favorite team with some amazing seats. I got for Sunday, crazy stuff. We got a dog. I hope so, bro. I hope so, man. I hope so. My guy, Alex Rojas, man. Shout out to my dog, man. 2K sounds great. I like 1,500. Had the rest of our run backs help Zeus save his legs for the postseason. And bro, I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's going to be hard for Zamir White to get 1,500 yards, even though we have 17 games. I think that we're really, really, really going to have a running back by committee. And you know what is good for me? If you have a team where you don't have a dominant quarterback that's going to be flinging the football all over the place, it's good to have a balanced running game. So, you don't tire Zeus out. You can constantly keep pounding that rock. Keep pounding that rock, man. That is, we need to go back to old school smash mouth football. You have so many guys in this locker room, a lot of older coaches, guys who have been there, done that. You have a defensive head coach in Antonio Pierce who comes from a culture of pounding the football, running the football. If you have guys that can hold on to the ball and keep them chains moving, you can stay in football games. You can stay in football games. I've watched the New York Giants win Super Bowls that way. There were times where Eli Manning will be turning the ball over. Now, make no mistake about it. Eli Manning is probably going to go to the Hall of Fame, right? But there were times where Ahmad Bradshaw and Brandon Jacobs had to carry the Giants because the quarterback play wasn't the best. You get a guy like Gardner Minshew. The reason why Gardner Minshew is a journeyman is because he's not the most consistent guy in the world. Now, let's hope that Gardner Minshew can find some consistency with the Raiders, right? But Gardner Minshew, if you think that you're going to get the same guy every single week, that's the reason why he's a journeyman. That is 100% the reason why he's a journeyman. You got to always remember that. My guy, Jerm 92, he goes, pounding the rock was crazy, wasted chill. Yeah, you got to chill. Bro, listen, bro, we got to be adults and we got to talk about football, dog. You mean pounding the rock, dog? I mean, jeez, man, the brother can't say pounding? The F is going on here, Jerm? Yeah. Oh. And that's what she said. Bang zoom. Bang zoom, Romo. Bang zoom. I mean, damn, yo. I mean, what is going on here with the wasted talent army, man? Y'all are crazy, man. The F out of here, man. Yo, and earlier, man, we had somebody join the wasted talent army, man, and I didn't highlight that. I'm very sorry. My guy Spivey, the Kevin Nash of Shieldmore is in the place, man. The Big Daddy Cool of Shieldmore is in the place with a $2 holler, man. Appreciate you, my dog. What's up, Wasted? What's up, Nation? Let's go, Raiders. My guy Spivey's in the place. My guy Harold Green became a member of the Wasted Talent Army, making it grow by leaps and bounds. Shout out to my guy, man. I've been on my soapbox all show. The F is wrong with me, man. Yo, and the word of the day is pounded. Dan Teeser loves that word for obvious reasons. Teeser, what the F is going on here, man? The word of the day is innuendo, yo. Said pauses all around, yo. Y'all are crazy. You guys are derailing the show with this effing nonsense. Let none of you cook. Wow. Brother can't say the word pounding. I get paused for that. I mean, golly, man. Unbelievable, man. F is going on with y'all, man? Damn. DeMokes, oh, you got to chill. DeMokes, you got to DeMokes, you wildin', bro. Since we going to Pound Town, no, you going to get the F out of here with that, bro. What the F is wrong with you, DeMokes? I mean, DeMokes, I hate to do this to you, my dog, man, but
Angry man, what you doing here? Man, sit your ass down.
sit your ass down for that one, DeMokes. What the F is going on here, man? My guy, Midnight Raider King is in the place. These kids say pause on everything, man. Sit y'all asses down. That's what I'm talking about. Midnight? Young whippersnappers with y'all nonsense. Golly, man. Yeah, with the compound interest pausing. Man, you talk about pause. I gotta take a pause for the cause, man.
Michael Vick here at BetUS.com. Get it all. Huge bonuses, great odds, a race book, live in-game betting, and a casino. BetUS, my online sports book and casino.
Shout out to BetUS, man, America's #1 sports book, a supporter of the Wasted Talent podcast, our sponsor. Shout out to them. This podcast has been brought to you by BetUS. Week 1 is coming up. The sports book is coming up. We're going to do a gambling show later this week. I want you guys to tune on in. But going over there, hit that link. It's in the top of my chat. It's in my description as well. Hit that link for Wasted Talent Raiders. Show them the power of the Wasted Talent Army. And listen, tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell them Wasted sent you. We got over 500 in the room, man. We got 2 new members. My guy, David Walker, is in a place to be, man. Shout out to David Walker for joining the Wasted Talent Army, man. At ease, my brother. Appreciate you. That's right. Get off my lawn, all you pausers. That's right. See, I need the old heads to take this chat over. What the F is going on here, man? My guy, Travis Spalding. People talk about offense and defense, but I think it's been at least 5 years since we've returned a punt or a kickoff for a touchdown in the regular season. I like to see one in LA. That would be dope, Travis. I think the special teams is a big key to this game. You know, Daniel Carson has to be, sharp. He has to maintain the streak he's been on. And I want to see, good ball placement as well, with the punter and A.J. Cole. And A.J. Cole has always been a great punter. He's the guy I worry about the least, right? Now, when you start talking about the trenches, man, our offensive line is what kind of concerns me. I don't think we're going to see Jackson Powers-Johnson at all. I'm thinking we're probably going to see Cody Whitehair start at left guard. Cody Whitehair has been a guy that has started in this league. He's played at a high level. He hasn't been playing at a high level anymore. And he's starting to kind of transition into the twilight of his career. He was brought here to be a backup, but, duty calls because JPJ has some head injuries, some lower extremity injuries. And I'm going to be real with you. I'm concerned. I'm a little concerned. Now, I'm also concerned about Colton Miller. Now, Colton Miller has always been a linchpin to this offensive line. I need to see how healthy Colton Miller is. I need to see how healthy Colton Miller is, man. Yo, shout out to my guy, Can't Get Right. You wildin', man. Yo, Bagzel with I don't know what the F's going on here. The Pause Olympics have run crazy. Mr. Akon, he said, I'm tired of all this number 17 trade talk. Mr. Akon, look, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. You are going to continue to hear that. You're going to continue to hear that. When you start talking about Devontae Adams, you start talking about, his contract. You start talking about the fact that the Raiders are not winning. You start talking about the documentary, the wide receiver documentary. You start talking about all of the things that have gone on last season, this season, Deshaun Jackson coming out saying things about how Devontae Adams is feeling, it's an inevitability unless the Raiders win early. That's another reason why this is a very, very, very important game. And Devontae Adams is one of those things that can kind of correct the issues that the offense is having. He's a guy who can. He's almost like an eraser. He's almost like an eraser. He can get open when other people can't, man. I said other people's. What the F is going on, man? I mean, the thing is, we got to control the line of scrimmage for the Raiders to really, really be able to let things develop downfield for Devontae Adams, man. We really do. And it's going to be rough. I mean, Devontae Adams has a pretty tough matchup, man. Going against Asante Samuel Jr., man. And I'm gonna be real with you. If Minshew makes any mistakes, you have guys, Derwin James, all them guys, they're gonna make Gardner pay for those mistakes, man. So we have to play within ourselves, and you got to make sure you get Devontae when he's open. You got to hit him. You got to hit him because he's going to get open, but you got to hit Devontae when he's open, man. You do. Now, when you start talking about the Devontae Adams thing, it is something that's it's not an inevitability, but it's something that's a reality. It's going to be talked about, bro. It really is. It is going to be talked about because of the fact that Devontae Adams has a very, very, very oppressive contract. Not only does he have that, but he also has a situation where, he's been putting it in the universe as well. This is not happening in a vacuum. And I'm going to be real with you. I really, at this point, man, if he want to be here, great. If he doesn't, then I hope we get as much as we possibly can for him and then move on and try to draft the quarterback of the future. That's where I'm at with the whole Devontae Adams. I'm sick of talking about Devontae Adams. I want him to go out there, play as well as he possibly can, help this team win for as long as he's here, whether it's the whole season, whether it's half the season, or whether it's 3-4 seasons down the line. Do I want Devontae Adams to go anywhere? No. But am I concerned about it? I'm not. Because it's going to be what it's going to be. It's going to be what it's going to be. Que sera, right? We're going to have to go out there and make sure that the guys who are brought in that are young play well and build off of whoever we have in the building. And I'm not chasing around a wide receiver because look, man, the one thing in this league that you can replace relatively quickly is a wide receiver. Now, are they Devontae? No. But for me, I'd rather have a stout offensive line, stout defensive line, pass rushers, quarterback, good running back room, and have me a bunch of good wide receivers. Like that's where I'm at with it. That is where I'm at with it. That is where I'm at with it, man. Bruce Bone, JPG needs to wait his turn until he's fully healthy. Yeah, JPJ is not our, let me read this. JPJ needs to wait his turn until he's fully healthy. On top of that, JPJ hasn't gone against any NFL competition except his own guys. Well, look, the only way that's going to happen is when it finally happens. What are we going to do? Wait for him to play next season? We're going to have to see what we got in this kid eventually, right? I will caution people with this. He is a rookie and he's changing positions. But if we look at the way things go in the National Football League, that happens all the time. Zach Martin, changed positions. I mean, there's a lot of really good players that are in the National Football League have changed positions from college to the National Football League. That's why I'm not concerned about, like when they talk about Joe Alt playing left in college and playing right in the NFL. Well, he's a right tackle now. He's probably going to be a damn good right tackle. My guy, Daniel Caps Keenan. Shout out to my guy, Daniel Caps Keenan, man. In between picks of this fantasy draft. Appreciate you for pulling up. My guy, Ace Spivey, the Big Daddy Cool of Shieldmore, man. Appreciate you, bro, for gifting 5 Raider Nation Unlimited Wasted Talent memberships, yo. Yo, y'all go out there. Y'all make sure that you thank Spivey, man, for growing the Wasted Talent Army. All my privates in the Wasted Talent Army at ease, soldiers. Privates. Pause. My guy, Midnight Raider King. I'm more worried about Munford than Colton Miller. And I am too. I'm worried about Munford as well. I'm worried about Thayer Munford. But this might sound crazy to you. I'm not worried about Thayer Munford this week. And I'm going to tell you why. Khalil Mack often struggles with tackles that are bigger guys. He struggles. I think Thayer is going to be okay. I think he's going to be okay. Khalil Mack doesn't get off on Thayer like that. This might be one of them ones, man, where, we could slow Khalil Mack down. We could slow the Mack attack himself down. Man, I'm trying to tell you, we could slow the Mack attack down. Yo, my guy, Alex Rebel Rojas, you can get anything you want over here at Raider Nation Unlimited, bro. Huge supporter of the show. Shout out to him and shout out to his family, bro. Can I get a quick shout out to my son who is going to the Navy soon? He is watching now. kind of want to surprise him. Yo, shout out to your son, Rebel Rojas, man. Happy trails, man. I wish you all the happiness. I wish you all, a safe landing when you go to the Navy, brother. Thank you for your service, and I wish you a great career. I hope you get through, healthy and have a long, prosperous career, my brother. Thank you, bro. Yeah, listen, John Caleros, man. If Munford struggles against the Chargers, I think he gets changed out relatively quickly. I really think that they were splitting hairs with him and Glaze. I think if Munford gets dog walked, if there's a situation where Khalil Mack explodes like he does, Khalil Mack is the kind of guy. Oh, pause too. Oh my God, disgusting work. But Khalil Mack is the kind of guy where he won't do anything for 3 games, and then he'll have that one game where he have 4 sacks or 5 or something like that, right? Munford can't have that happen on his watch. If he does, he will be pulled. He will be yanked off the stage like somebody at Showtime at the Apollo. It will happen pretty damn fast, man. Pretty damn fast, man. Primos, Munford had Max number last year, but we'll see. New year, hopefully Munford keeps it going. I'm hoping so, man. Shout out to my guy, though. Shout out to my guy, man. My guy, Alex Rebel Rojas. Come on, bro. You already know, my brother. Leaky, get the F out of here, man. So we can't yank, we can't put, we can't nothing no more, huh? Just throw the whole English language out the effing, throw it out the pasture. Why don't we? What the F is going on here, Leaky? What is going on? Just throw it out.
Shut your lame ass up.
The F out of here, Leaky. Oh man. Rated Jimmy, bro. Mac had 17 sacks last year, bro. The Khalil Mack has been pretty damn good, bro. You can't say that, man. Can't say that. Mac hasn't been good since he was a Raider. In that game, we had 5 sacks against us. It was because AOC was a statue. It was because Josh McDaniels set AOC up. He did nothing to help that kid. It's an effing bum, man. It's an effing bum. Lance Smith. I wish they would have added Frank Gore Jr. to the practice squad. I mean, Lance, bro, I'm going to be honest with you. You falling in love with the name and not the game. We don't really know how good Frank Gore Jr. will be. It's not, I mean, unless he's anything like his old man, which I doubt, why add him? There's a lot of other guys you can add to this practice squad. Look, yo, you should have, you might have to double team Khalil Mack. It's freaking Khalil Mack. Let's not get beside ourselves and act like this ain't Khalil Mack we dealing with. Come the heck on, man. Thayer handled Mack exceptionally well. Watch the tape. He will get beat here. They sure do, but most do on the O-line. Defenses are extremely athletic and fast. Glaze wouldn't fare any better. Look, man, the thing is always the currency of hope. When you have a vet that gets taken to the woodshed and you got a good-looking young rook, a lot of times you go with the rook. Try to get him out there, get him some snaps. Then you recalibrate through the week. But you got to change something. You just can't let some guy keep getting taken to the woodshed, man. I'm sorry. Nate Dogg, I'm actually worried about stopping the run on our defense. I am too, bro. I hope preseason was just a fluke. So you got to understand something. A lot of that, Graham was serving up a lot of vanilla with the starters, and then a lot of that was certain guys that are not on this team anymore, right? A lot of that was Byron Young and guys like that. Now the Raiders have gone out there and they've brought in a couple of guys that are going to help with that situation that we had with the run game. There were a lot of guys that have been brought in strictly because of that, man. So I'm telling you right now, I don't think that you're going to get the same version of the Raider run defense. You're not going to get that. You're not going to get that, man. Jonathan Wow from the Indianapolis Colts, man, was a guy who was really, really good against the run, man. You know what I mean? He's a guy that can play inside and outside. You know, he's a guy that you can spell some of our star players with. You know, he's a damn good run defender, man. And when you start talking about Holmes is a kid who is a good tackler. Now he's not a starter, but he's a guy that you can spell in there. Got a lot of size out there. He's a good tackler as far as a corner goes, man. Holmes will be a good backup for Nate Hobbs, man. Very good slot corner as far as a backup, and he's a good run defender just like Nate Hobbs, man. You know, Holmes in New York was pretty damn good against the run, man. Had really good PFF grades against the run. You know, I'm hoping that, you know, Nate Hobbs, we see a little Nate Hobbs line up out wide as well. Maybe we can get Darnay Holmes and Nate Hobbs on the field at the same time a few times, man. But the games are won in the trenches, right? And you're going to have a heaping helping of Christian Wilkins. You know, Max Crosby's very good against the run. I don't think we're going to see that same porous run defense when the Raiders go up against, you know, the Chargers, because real rap, one thing that Greg Roman can do is scheme up some running plays. One thing that Jim Harbaugh's offense does is they impose their will on you with the run. This is something that is a humongous concern. I'm telling you right now, if you feel like Jim Harbaugh and this team is going to drop back and throw the ball 40, 50 times, it ain't going to happen. They're going to be running the football. I'm telling you right now, man. Yeah, I saw the USC game. Yo, he's nice, man. I want to see more. You know, I don't like judging players week one in college football. I like to see more. Man. But yeah, he played excellent, man. You know, a lot of these guys that are out there, they're balling as week one. I need to see that consistency, man. But yeah, they're on my list. You know, I love that week in between the NFL season and the last game of preseason because you get to really watch a lot of college football. This year, I'm going to go back into my college football bag like really, really, really big. Like real big. Like I used to be a big college football. Like now I kind of like evaluate players, but I'm going to start watching more college football the way I used to when I was younger. Yeah, man, that's Harbaugh's specialty. Big offensive line running the ball. He got to the Super Bowl with a running quarterback. A run first quarterback. I'm telling you right now, man. This is something that we really need to key in. The run defense, if our run defense has not been, shored up, it's going to get exposed this week. It's going to get exposed this week. I'm telling you right now. Take away them dump offs and seam routes. I think our defense will get back on the field too, fast to throw outside and down the field. I mean, Reese, I don't know, man. Because look, man, you're not dealing with some pedestrian quarterback, and that's what's scary about this. You're dealing with Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert is one of the five best young quarterbacks in this league. He's very, very physically talented. Now, has he won yet? No. But he's a guy that I can see winning if he can put it all together. Right. And if you give this kid balance, he just pretty much you're at the offense's mercy. You know, you have to, as a defense, you have to take away the run. And you have to make sure that you are getting, you're hitting Justin Herbert. You have to make sure you're getting pressure on him. You can't let him sit there and just have a clean pocket. If that kid has a clean pocket, he will pick you apart, man. Oh, Gainer should see the field of Deion. Yeah, I think Gainer made this 53-man roster not just to be a special teamer, bro. I think Gainer is going to play a lot. I really, really do. I think Amari Gainer is going to play a lot, man. I don't know if he's going to start right off the bat, but Divine Diablo is a guy that at this point in the game is playing for his contract. He is playing for his contract right now. So, if we don't see the best of Divine Diablo, it is time for us to start investing and looking into some of these other options because he won't be here next season. And I can't see the Raiders keep playing a guy that is a liability on any side of the football. We have a defensive head coach. We have a head coach who has played linebacker at a high level. He knows what he's looking at. I think Devon Diablo will get the hook very, very fast if he doesn't play well. I really wish we had AJ Dillon over Massa. I think AJ Dillon is hurt, bro. I like that Brandon Jacobs type punishment every run because of the thick frame. Shout out to you. And shout out to Nick Farrell, man. It's the thick frame. He's out there, man. He's been cut. He is floating in the wind. People have talked about bringing him back. I'm cool with bringing Neil Farrell back. I said Nick Farrell. Neil Thick Frame Farrell. I think he's going to, happy trails to him. I think he's going to be out there floating. I don't think the Raiders are going to bring him in, man. I really don't, man. People always want to, pair the Raiders with our former players. And I think that's nothing that, we need to look into, man. I'm cool, man. I mean, did you guys hear any of this stuff about this Josh Jacobs stuff? Did you guys hear about the Josh Jacobs news? I know we really don't care. I haven't really touched on it, man. But, the Athletic offers some interesting details around Josh Jacobs, his path to the Green Bay Packers. And, this is courtesy of Dan Pompei. He asked the Raiders to trade him a year ago and was initially planning to sit out the first 12 games before agreeing to a one-year deal just before the start of the regular season. There have been some reports that Josh Jacobs tried to sign with the Raiders and that the Raiders didn't want him. Now, Hondo Carpenter is saying that I'm just going to say this. First of all, I take no umbrage with the reporters, but what they're reporting, we're told, but they said some of the details here were left out because of, some of the people. However, they're not giving you all of the details. The Raiders wanted Josh Jacobs. They made him an offer. They made him an offer that had he accepted, I would have been very critical of. And then, he goes to Green Bay and gets that offer. So there were reasons to believe that he was going to accept, and he didn't, and he's no longer a Raider. Now, look, man, I'm going to be real with you, bro. I'm glad that we didn't pay a running back all of that money. I'm glad. He showed last year why you don't do. Now, I was a guy who was on my soapbox with Josh Jacobs because, he's a homegrown guy. We drafted him. But when Josh Jacobs started to show his true colors, and kind of wasn't all bought in and was trying to, kind of do some of this player empowerment stuff. This is the National Football League. You can't have people trying to hold the organization over the fire for their personal wants and needs. We got to allow this thing to build up, right? So when we couldn't move up for a quarterback, there's a promise we going to move up. It's like, bro, you can only move up as high as like these other teams are in the football business too. You see how good Jaden Daniels is looking like he's going to be. You see how Caleb Williams is looking, and if the Raiders only felt like those are the only two guys they were willing to move up for, I got to respect that. I got to respect that. And running backs are disposable. They really are. I hate to say it, but they are. So, look, happy trails, Josh Jacobs. He got his bag. F him. And then, he was talking about he didn't want to, go to the Chiefs. I'm sure if the Chiefs would have gave him a big bag, he would have played for them. Peyton Hurdle, he said, I respect JJ a little more now that I didn't understand he had to get his bread, but this just shows where his heart was at. Yeah, I mean, whatever, man. He's no longer here. I got to report it because I'm on the air. He's a Raider. He was a Raider. And, it's just something that we had to talk about. Reese Rock, my guy JJ should have stayed. Location of Vegas gives you different marketing opportunities to make money, bro. I don't think people give a shit about that. Look, man, in today's day and time, if you're a great player, you could play in Dubuque, Iowa, you can get marketing deals. It's a global economy now, bro. You got the internet and stuff like that. If you're a superstar player and you're balling, you can make money. You definitely can, man. You definitely can. That's right, Desiree. Joshua, the F. Yo, and Jacobs was noticeably slower last year. He lost a step, and it was going to get worse. And the fact that Josh Jacobs didn't show up to camp, I think that hurt his season. I'm glad that we've decided to move on, yo. Glad that we decided to move on. Shout out to my brother Ty Davis, man. 5-month member. Salute old man wasting the Raider Nation. And happy Labor Day to the hard workers out here. 6 days into Raider football. Let's effing go. Going crazy waiting. Me too, bro. I can't wait, brother. Can't wait, man. Listen, man, Josh Jacobs is about to impregnate half of Wisconsin, man. It's going to be watermelon seeds everywhere. The Giants offer more cash than Green Bay too, which was crazy, right? Because I think the Giants were trying to play hardball with Saquon Barkley, and they lost, and they wanted to shut the fan base up. The owner probably was, getting them to try to, bring in a star running back like Jacobs, bro. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Josh Jacobs want to win. He think he gonna win in Green Bay. God bless him, but F him. He's no longer a Raider. Had to bring it up, man. Our team is all around better than the Colts. And they still think we're going to win less games than last year. Now, bro, Raider Chaos, the problem is that where are we better at, right? We're not better up front when it comes to the offensive line. And that's a big, big place not to be better with a quarterback like Gardner Minshew, if I'm being honest. Right? And we are a team that has to play the Kansas City Chiefs twice. We have to play the Chargers twice, right? It's, our division is pretty tough, right? So I can understand their reasoning behind that. Do I subscribe to their ideology? No, I think the Raiders are going to be fine this year, man. I think the Raiders are going to be fine. And y'all, this stream has been brought to you by BetUS. We went a little late today. It's almost 8 o'clock. I think it's time to get off the air, go eat dinner with the family. You know what I mean? I appreciate every single one of y'all for pulling up. We got over 550 people in the room. Get wasted with your brother, wasted, tell a friend and tell a friend. I love every single one of y'all, man. We're going to be going all week. The season is back, so you know how we do during the season, man. I appreciate all the support for the channel. I appreciate the fact that you guys have made the Wasted Talent Army grow by droves, right? I also want you guys to go and hit that subscribe button if you're watching and you haven't subscribed. It costs you nothing. We are on a race to 12K. I want to hit 12K by the end of the night, man. Appreciate every single one of y'all, man. Helen Siren, I disagree. I think the Raiders are way better up front on the offensive line than the Colts. No, we're not. No, we are not, man. You got to chill, bro. I don't think we are, man. But y'all, listen, man. Appreciate you can't get right. Appreciate all of y'all, man. Shout out to y'all. This stream has been brought to you by BetUS, America's #1 sports book. Look, like I told y'all, man. Get your first three bets up to $2,000 covered by 125% on your first 3 deposits. Fast and easy deposit, easy withdrawal, fastest payouts in the industry, man. Appreciate y'all, man. I had to get that up there. This has been sponsored by BetUS, man. And I'm going to get out of here, man. Y'all know, like I always say,
yesterday's price is not today's price.
Listen, we are 6 days away from the NFL season. The price is going through the roof, y'all. I will see you guys all week. We are going to be rocking and rolling. We're going to go out there and whip some Charger ass. We're going to have the full game breakdown. Graph and I go on Wednesday. Tomorrow we're going to be rocking and rolling. Guys, shout out to everybody in chat, man. Love all of y'all, man. I'm out of here, man. Peace.